Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 with Everton. I'm not going to lie, it's been a bit of a mare recently. We're all the way into February. Now, a lot of stuff has happened, so you might find this episode might be a transfer special, because obviously January has been and gone. We've also had a load of fixtures before Christmas that we still need to talk about. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the fixtures first. So first of all, you'll notice by the amount of red circles, it's not gone well. It's definitely not gone well. Since losing 2-1 to Liverpool on the 14th of December, 3 matches were played before the January transfer window opened. Starting against Sheffield United, a 2-2 draw here. Gylfi Sigurdsson with both the goals had a chance for his penalty and hit it wide because he doesn't score penalties. Also, you'll notice in this match, Jonas Lossell was our goalkeeper. That's because Jordan Pickford got injured. Up against Arsenal, we lose 3-0. And you'll notice here, Jonas Lossell is not our goalkeeper. It is somebody called Nicholas Hansen who scored an own goal. So Jordan Pickford got injured for about a month, I think it was, just after the Liverpool game. So he missed, I think, a month worth of football. And then Jonas Lossell, literally a day after the Sheffield United game, he picked up an injury as well. We had no goalkeeper, no first choice goalkeeper, up until, I think, the West Ham game. So yeah, Nicholas Hansen had to play 3 games for us, and ironically, he's now fractured his leg. So he's now out injured as well. The final match then, before the January transfer window opened, was up against Leicester. It was a 2-0 defeat here. Yes, it's not gone well, okay? Moving into January then, and we do pick up our first victory for the best part of a month up against Brighton. And it was close. It was very close. We were actually 1-0 down. Basuma opened the scoring. Then Pascal Gross also scored, but Gylfi Sigurdsson getting himself a hat-trick and actually scoring a penalty, which is always good. And Theo Walcott coming off the bench to score a goal in the 90th minute as well. It's a valuable 3 points, but it's the 3 points that we should have beaten Sheffield United. We should have probably beaten Leicester as well. The injury problems really did not help. I need to keep an eye on the starting 11 because at some point, new signings will pop up. I don't think we've got any just yet. So, next up, against West Ham United in the FA Cup third round, we lost, and it was a Sebastian Haller 87th minute winner. Dennis Vavro scoring a goal for us, and also Jordan Pickford. He didn't pick up an injury in this. This was his return game back. So, I don't know why it says he had an injury, because he didn't. Then up against Chelsea, we lose 3-0. Fabian Delph getting himself sent off. We picked up a fine of, £50,000? I don't know how much it is because of the sheer quantity of yellow cards. Sidibe, Digne, Delph gets 2, Martinez, Moise Kean and Bernard all picking up a yellow card in this one. You'll also notice Jean-Philippe Gbamin has returned. I think he might have even played against West Ham. No, he didn't. So that was his return match, his first game for us since joining in the summer because he's been out injured. Now we can talk about transfers. First up, joining the club on loan from Manchester United is 18-year-old central midfielder James Garner. It's not the biggest name, and to be honest, he's not really played. In fact, he's not played for us at all at the moment, but he's come in as basically a backup option just to get more depth in the squad. Another loan signing is through the door next, this time from Atletico Madrid. It is 29-year-old Mexican central midfielder Hector Herrera. He has played a couple of games for us so far. He's done all right, 3-star current ability, 3-star potential. We are paying some money for him, but I think he's good enough to actually kind of play a few games, basically, so paying a bit of money isn't the end of the world. Next up through the door, it's another loanee, this time from Chelsea. It is 27-year-old Dutch central midfielder Marco van Ginkel, a player who, for some reason in real life, he's not liked by Chelsea. They just don't play him. He's not amazing, but he's got some decent stats. Mentally, he's actually quite good. Current ability is 3.5-star potential. We're obviously not going to see him beyond the end of this season. He's come in. He's probably going to be starting most matches on the bench, but coming on. He's versatile as well. He can play as that central midfielder, can play as an attacking midfielder if we need to, possibly even on the wings. Our first of 2 permanent signings for January. It is 30-year-old Italian central defender from Napoli, Lorenzo Tonelli. He's come in for £1.3 million. He was out of contract at the end of the season. I just wanted some more depth. That is literally the only reason. He's 2.5-star current ability, 2.5-star potential. He's probably not going to play a huge amount of football for us. He's just there, like I said, for more depth. And so is our next signing, another Italian, this time 25-year-old Italian, Danilo Cataldi, signing from Napoli, I think. It's Napoli or Lazio, I can't remember. He's signed for £850,000? Again, 2.5-star current ability, 3-star potential. I think he's okay. I think he's better than the previous guy, Tonelli, but again, probably not going to play a huge amount of football. He has come in as a fringe player, so I'm not expecting him to be playing all the football all the time. And finally, the big one, it's still on loan, but the big one nonetheless, is 23-year-old English international Harry Winks. He is signed on loan from Tottenham. We are paying all of his wages, which is going to equate to about £2.5 million between now and the end of the season. But I think with Harry Winks' 3.5-star current ability, we've got somebody who can walk into our first team and actually challenge a lot of the players who are currently playing and maybe, just maybe, get them to perform a little bit better. Also, we've sold Fabio Contrao. We've made some money. We're laughing at Rennes here. We've sold him for £5.25 million. That's just silly money. He wasn't playing football for us. We've shifted him on. I think that's a good bit of business for somebody who's about to turn 32 in a month and a half. So yeah, that is our transfer business for the January transfer window. There's been obviously a couple of loans as well. I say a couple, one. Joe Anderson, gone out on loan to Farsley. Tyrrell Warren went out on loan to Bromley, long time ago now, back in September. We have spent a lot of money. And by we, I mean we spent a lot of money on Joseph Martinez. Everything else was Marco Silva. We didn't do any of these. So looking at the transfer summary then, in the eyes of the board, we've done some good business. We've also done some bad business. Joseph Martinez is now on a D rating because he's just not performing. He's really struggling to perform at the moment. I don't really know why. I think maybe we as a team are struggling to perform. Of the January signings then, there's a lot of them. James Garner is a B-, an A+ for Hector Herrera, an A- for Van Ginkel, an A- for Harry Winks, and then the two Italians, Cataldi and Tonelli, both as Ds because they're getting paid too much money. Anyway, going back to fixtures and results, we've still got two more to talk about. First up, against Spurs, we lose 3-2. We're now 2-0 down. Moira and Eriksson in the first minute and the 16th minute. Then Iwobi and Gomez scoring very, very quickly one after another in the 34th and 36th minute. And Eric Dyer with an 80th minute winner there. We dropped points. We deserved more than what we got out of that game. And then up against Arsenal, it was a 1-0 defeat because it's Arsenal and they're just really good at the moment. League table-wise then, yeah, we've dropped down to 9th. We're not doing amazingly well at the moment. We have dropped down to 9th place. We are 5 points now off a Europa League spot. We are still a long, long way away ahead of the relegation zone. So I don't even know why I brought that up, to be honest. Just to put our December in perspective, we picked up 9 injuries throughout the entirety of December. That is a hell of a lot of injuries. If we see here, Jonas Lossell, he was out for 2 weeks. You can see Richarlison he's just constantly injured. I think he might be back. Pickford, out for 3 weeks. We had, December was just horrendous. Can we sort by date? Is that how it works? So, start of December then. Joseph Martinez for 2 days. Bernard for 8 days. Then Sidibe for 5 days. 2 weeks for Gabamin. Yep, he came back, got injured again. Pickford for 3 weeks. Benny Banning, that guy, was out on loan at Coventry. He's now returned. He's out for 8 to 11 weeks. Seamus Coleman picked up a 4-week injury. Dinya picked up a 3-day injury. Jonas Lossell picked up a 2-week injury. Delph then picked up a 2-day injury. Bruce's ankle on Christmas Day. Not sure what you were doing there, Fabian. And then we're still picking up injuries throughout January as well. Sigurdsson picked up an injury now out for 8 days. Lossell and Martinez picking up a flu and a cold. And Mason Holgate as well with a tight hamstring. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think I'm to blame for our injuries. Okay? I don't think I'm to blame. That is going to do it for this episode. It was probably a very short episode, and I apologise if you're expecting some football, but don't worry, I'm going to do a double upload day. Later on today then is going to be the Wolverhampton Wanderers game, probably about 8 PM UK time. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time in the Wolves game, and hopefully we can turn around this bloody awful run of form.